real talk when it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league. All things NFL, we don't miss a thing. Getting with the coverage, we loving it all day. Picking up the news, tell us wherever the ball lay. With the NFL, NBA, they box so. Sports news in the hands of a man with fair takes. Tell them, coach, statistics and realness that's being spoke. Either hit it for the win or they hitting the goal posts. Either way, we woke up to the news of the day. Any Kenny could call it, he like to talk it out with Ray. Fast breaks down the lane, they better move out the way, or they pulling from perimeter. Curry bury the trade, yeah, they got it. Woo! Duval with the hottest, Chris and Dev like the master, and mix it up like it's Logic being modest. They been looking for that real, trying to get it feel. Sports podcast, they running back on the real. That's a steal, yeah. They never sick, but they ill. Real sports talk going, deliver, signed and sealed. We bring that real talk when it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league. All things NFL, we don't miss a thing.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Real Talk. I got the fellows with me, man. How y'all doing tonight?
Good, man. Just great weekend of basketball, and we got a tight one right now with LSU and Iowa. So it's always great to be on for sure.
Dev, how you doing tonight? How's the weekend?
It's been a little bit busy, but everything's been good for real. We had checked out an O's game on Saturday with my bro. Sunday, pretty much, me and my sons got a little bit of some Easter workouts.
You ain't even taking a break for the holiday?
We don't take breaks.
We don't take breaks.
We don't take breaks, coach.
That's what I like to hear, coach.
Like I said, we're right now. They are two sport guys right now, and like I said, we transitioned to football, and
you gotta get them that three sport.
We try and get all the cardio. I'm trying to get them into track, but
no, get them. That's what I was going to say. Get them into track.
They most definitely, but they decided to play. They wanted to do 707 flag for their cardio this year. So that's what we rocking with. That's what we've been doing: cone drills, reaction drills, speed drills, parachute drills. You know what I mean? I'm putting them into work right now.
Hey, man, that's the only way they're going to get better is putting in that work.
Absolutely. Well, before we get started, Dev, let the people know all the stuff you got going on.
Oh, man, so far as MTMO, man, I got some good things cooking, man. My 121st episode is on the way, man. I potentially might have a special guest, man. I was just on his show today called the GC3 Hoops. Real cool guy, Hawaiian guy, started his podcast. He allowed me to come on this platform today to talk about the NLL deals, the transport portals, and some talk about the ladies college basketball. Real dope guy, man. He was telling me how he was able to help some prospects get recruited into college and piqued my interest on that he's potentially going to be a guest for my next episode coming up. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, I'm training my boys out here working. My daughter Gray stepped back into spring volleyball, so she Gray start putting in that work. So make sure y'all go out here and follow all my social media platforms at MTMO_sports podcast for my IG and my TikTok, and my THTS my opinion for Facebook and Twitter.
Kenny?
Yeah, man, we just still got the campaign, the givingzone.com, St. Joseph Academy Flashes campaign going on. We got a goal of reaching $3,000 or about 2,500, so we're really close. So thank you to everybody, but we're keeping it open. So if you $1, $15, $10, we don't discriminate. All the contributions are welcome. And I also have a scholarship fund in honor of my first wife, the April and More Creative Scholarship Fund. It's for HBCUs. Our first award is going to Virginia Union University. It's going to be,
I love it.
yes, sir.
It ain't my conference. I love that.
Yes, sir. So yeah, let's talk, man, because we're looking for another HBCU to partner with. So yeah, and it's for creatives, any creative student, whatever you do in a creative space, if that's your major or your minor, the scholarship fund is for you. So more info to come on that, because we'll actually be doing the auditions on my show, which is on the Minds of Creativity channel, which is a part of All Sports, All Plays. So stay tuned for that. We'll be having live auditions where people could come and show their creativity. And so, yeah, that's what's going on, man. And then to Dev's point, shout out to Coach Brown at Covenant College, man. Recruiting is picking up. We got team camps coming up. So the schools are hitting me up. And so we're about to hit that road. So everybody give as much as you can, because the more you give, the less burden it is on the program. So appreciate everybody.
Absolutely. Definitely love to hear what y'all got going on. But like you said, it was a wonderful weekend of basketball. And, you know, before we get into the women's tournament, I want to highlight the men's tournament. We had a Final Four. We have on Saturday, you're going to have UConn against Alabama and NC State versus Purdue. Now, UConn on a 30-0 run. Kenny, have you ever seen something like that? Have you ever seen something like that? I know you're a coach. How would you feel if your team won a 30-0 run to start the second half?
I feel like it's time to find a new job. I would question my ability to coach, because that's like AAU, that's like PAL, that's like, you know, beginner basketball or lower level basketball. But in college, I've never seen that in all my years of watching this game. So, but you know, I said it, UConn, and I posted it on my Facebook. UConn is running through everybody. They're on a mission. The way they're executing on offense, and then they're locking up defensively with the big and, you know, protecting the rim. To me, they're the best team in the country. And if they're playing at this level, nobody's beating them, as far as I'm concerned.
You're right about that. What you think about that 30-0 run? Have you got a chance to see that, Dev?
Alabama's in trouble. If that run continues, man, it's like, how do you stop? Because it's from what I've seen, man, UConn can run. These guys can get up and down the floor, so you don't want to go in a run and gun situation with UConn. UConn also can break you down on the defensive end and make you a one-shot team also. So it's just like Coach just said, man, UConn is on the mission, man. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't they win last year?
Absolutely.
It is, absolutely.
So, you know, it looked like they trying to go back to back this year. So I picked them to win it all in my bracket. So let's go UConn.
Yeah, I mean, UConn, to me, the only team, in my opinion, or the team that posed the most threat was Illinois. You know, and I thought that was going to be a great game, and it was a great first half. And as much as I want to talk about what they did on the offensive end, scoring 30 straight, what they did on the defensive end, I don't think it's being highlighted enough, because Illinois was top 12 when it comes to points per game as a team scorer. And they also had a top 3 scorer in the nation in Terrence Shannon Jr. So Illinois can put the ball in the basket. And the fact that they were able to hold them to 0 points and then score 30 of their own, I mean, like you said, that's video game numbers. You can barely do that on 2K.
You can do it on 2K. You just gotta do it on rookie.
I'm about to say, it gotta be beginner level. That's the only way you can do that.
Honestly, you know, and to kind of preview their matchup on Thursday, I mean on Saturday, they're going against Alabama, who's another team, you know, like we talked about, that could put the ball in the basket. But if you're not able to defend, good luck against UConn.
That's what
you're
I'm saying.
all offense and no defense, is going to be a rough time for you.
I'm hoping Alabama don't want to try to make it. I don't know what type of style of offense they will try to run, because, like I said, you don't want to do run and gun against UConn, because these guys can do it.
All SEC, you know, they love run and gun. You know, they got some scores, but It's
But
still
at
good
the
luck.
same time, can you defend? Because UConn also been holding the opponents to 50-something points throughout this tournament.
And SEC, they're not Alabama specifically. They're not known as a real defensive team. I'm gonna score 88 points and you try to outscore me type of team.
Well, UConn is throwing up damn near 90 points. So
Yep, and holding them to 60.
To me, the only way that Alabama wins this game is if they just shoot the lights out.
Yeah, and they got Mark Sears. If you watch, I've been watching him all year, and he reminds me of Jalen Brunson so much, and people are just now seeing it. But I've been watching him all year, and he's 6'1" guard, left hand, can shoot the ball. He nice. Not saying he's gonna go. I mean, he went off a couple games in the tournament. Not saying he's gonna do that against UConn, but I think if they're able to score the ball, it's gonna be a fun game. Now, also, you had this weekend, you had Zach Edey put up 40 points and win against Tennessee. So my question to you, Dev, do you think Zach Edey is going to be a lottery pick?
I would say yes, but he wouldn't be like a must. Like, he wouldn't be a top 5 lottery pick in my eyes, because the way of the big men is going is not really needed in this day of age. So, but also you just don't want to let this type of big man just go too far into a playoff contention team where he can develop and mold and don't have to play, right away. But I think he's still a lottery pick. I think some teams are still willing to gamble. A team, somebody like Atlanta, maybe, say, for instance, if they do lose Trae Young, which is rumored that it's a possibility he's flirting with possibly leaving Atlanta. Dejounte Murray is still going to need a pick and roll type guy, because he's a pick and roll type guard. And if you can make it easy for him and keep it competitive down there, somebody that can protect the rim also, I think that will be a good fit for Atlanta. Not saying that's the route Atlanta would go, but just hypothetically speaking, I just see that can work if even if Trae do stay, that Trae can still be a pick and roll guy, and that can open up a lot of possibilities either for Trae or for Edey. So I think he's still lottery pick. It just depends on which team falls in which order once they do that what's that, the little draft lottery.
Lottery, yeah.
Kenny, how about you? You think Edey's going to be a lottery pick?
Yeah, I think it's Dev hit it in terms of it's about the fit. So it depends on where the teams are drafting. But I would say if I had to guess right now, I would say yes, because if you think about it, the two of the most dominant players in the league right now are centers. In terms of Embiid and Jokic. So you need somebody that size, especially Jokic. Like, he's kind of in that mode. Now, he's not as skilled as Jokic, but he's in that mode in terms of the big, strong center. So I think that this will be the year that he does become a lottery pick, because in the past, we've been in this small ball era and this 5-out era. And he's kind of a throwback to the previous generation in terms of that back to the basket. So I hope so, because I've been one that's kind of lamented the lack of a post game. So yeah. I'm hoping that he is a lottery pick for sure.
Well, time to get my Stradamus on, because I do not think Zach Edey will be a lottery pick. And it has nothing to do with him, but it's the fact that how today's game is being played. You talked about Jokic and you talked about Embiid, but they have an ability that I haven't seen Zach Edey have, which is be able to play on the perimeter. To me, when I watch him play, he's just in the post. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people saying, "Oh, he's so dominant." People forget Luka Garza, a few years ago was just as dominant, if not more dominant, because I think he was more skilled on the offensive end because he could stretch the floor, and he's barely cracking rotation with the Timberwolves.
Yeah,
so it has nothing to do with him, but it's the fact that how today's game's being played. Yes, he's 7'4". He could be a lob threat. He can be all those things, but if you're drafting a lottery pick, to me, they have to have a guaranteed dark horse shine all year with underdog. We gonna talk about that, John. So stay
Mhm.
tuned. We gonna
Yep.
talk about that. But yeah, I just don't see Edie being a lottery pick. It doesn't matter to me who's gonna be, able to draft. I don't see any team drafting him in a lottery because I don't see him having an immediate impact. For me, a lottery pick, you have to either have a crazy upside or immediate impact. I look at Hami Hakwes, he's having an impact. Brandon Miller, he has upside and an impact. Scoot Henderson, maybe not the impact, but he has the upside. You have to have one of the two. And when I'm
Yeah.
looking at Edie, I don't know if he's going to have the immediate impact, and we see what his upside is. So
I can see your point. I can most definitely see your point. That's why I was just kind of teetering the line of him. Like I said, I don't think he will be your top 5. No, you know what I mean. But I'm pretty sure. I don't even think Washington should go that route.
I don't see him going top 20.
I'm pretty sure a desperate, well, not a desperate team, but
I think
a
he's gonna be
team.
mid to late first round.
Yeah, I can see him going mid first round because, like you said, that's not the way the league is going. But how far do you really let him go? Because you still need run protection, whether it's coming off the bench or whether he's a starter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He might not make an impact his first year. You know what I mean? Bigs don't really make a big impact on their first year coming to the league anyway. It always kind of takes them a time to develop and find their way into their system and find their role. If you know what I mean, if you're not needed. But to your point, yes, in today's game, if you got a 6'10" power forward, he's kind of your center now. Because he can stretch the floor.
I mean, before we move on, if it was one team that I want him to get drafted to, if I had to pick one team, I'm picking the Miami Heat. If there was one team,
so you're moving Bam to the 4?
Oh, he doesn't have to start. Just because I'm drafting him don't mean he had to start. Bam can stay my 5, and until he's ready. But right now, him being my backup. But yeah, at times, Bam.
At times, why
not? No.
Yeah.
That's what I said when you said that. That's actually.
I mean, Bam in the future can definitely play the 4.
Yeah, that's actually
he could definitely
not a bad
play the
look.
4. But as right now, until I, feel like he's ready to play them starting minutes. But coming off the bench, like you said, he can have an impact, especially on the defensive end. Miami is going to be a team. They got their body fat rule. They're going to get you in shape. Like all these other teams, we draft you and they might. You stay at a certain weight, you might not be conditioned. No, Miami's going to be in condition. So his biggest, people say, oh, he's not going to be fast. He got to lose weight. Well, one team that's going to make you do all those things is Miami. So
that's going to be the issue though. Is if you want to move Bam to the 4 at times, do you only have him out there on the floor when Jokic is actually on the floor? Because Jokic play a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
So now, do you really have Bam play a lot of minutes at the 4? And then when you look at it, can he run? Is he going to be? Jokic might not be the fastest big man in the world.
He beat AD up and down the court.
But that's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making right there. It's like, but somehow, some way, he's able to beat athletic big guys down the floor at times. So, that's going to be Edie's trouble. Is can he keep up with him? And it's not only just Jokic he gonna have to keep up with. Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. All these guys can really get up and down the floor without actually taking a lot of energy to get down on the floor. So, and they in good shape, pro shape too.
Yeah, but to your point though about the whole, I think that once he gets into the league, he's going to realize that he's going to have to drop some pounds because he's going to have to be able to be, able to get out in transition. He's got to be able to guard in space. So all those things are going to lead him to want to drop a few pounds. But I think that Miami is really intriguing because you could have a Minnesota situation because Bam, we see Bam as extended his range and he could extend all the way out to the 3-point line.
Finally.
You can have that Cat and Gobert situation going on. I'm not sure that Edie's the defender that
he's the
Gobert
rim
is, but he's
protector,
definitely,
I think.
Yeah, and he's better offensively by far. So
he better to know that he's going to get banged on a couple of times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, man, it's part of the game.
The rip.
Yeah.
Speaking of another big though, NC State DJ Burns. You talk about a Cinderella run. They're on it, and people should have known once they won the ACC tournament that they were a team, that was going to be legit. Beating Duke, North Carolina, then they played Duke in the tournament. A great performance, a great game. Shout out to Jeremy McCain, by the way. Now that's a lottery pick, but the DJ Burns is doing his thing. So Dev, let me ask you this: are you surprised watching this guy hoop the way he hoop? We talked about it's not being a post game anymore; it's guard oriented, and we're seeing the team dump it down low to their best player, and he's able to carry them to victories.
No, because you still have to have that big presence down there, regardless how you're shooting. Because as we already kind of see that in the NBA, yes, Steph is the greatest shooter, but at times he has Draymond Green to be that back to the basket type guy that at least kind of make it a threat of it's a post play, and honestly, that's what the NBA kind of lack of anyway is post physicality down in that block now, because it's a lot of touchy fouls. It's a lot of bigs want to shoot threes now and everything in that nature. And you see DJ Burns said, you know what? While all the other bigs can go out there and keep shooting, I'm gonna go ahead and make my living down in the paint. You know what I mean? And the great comparison is to Zach Randolph, man. Didn't have the great athletic ability to dunk at times after he had certain injuries, but he was able to put a body on a body at times. He was able to be physical, where times that bigs didn't want to be physical. So I think DJ Barnes has really shown it still need to be you still need the physicality of this game to actually start winning, because when you start sitting here looking at referees and start whining and all that good stuff, that guy DJ Burns is already catching his breath, is down on the block, and he's beating your big man down there now, and your big man is complaining. So I think my man from my eyes, that's what I think he's mastered the best. You know what I mean? As for me sitting, from coach point of view, that physicality. A lot of these, I hate to say it, but Tyronn Lue called his guys that it's soft at times. Yeah, and when you bring physicality, a lot of guys is not built. You can see that a lot of these guys are not built the way they think they are. And DJ Barnes is showing that. Burns is starting to show that Duke wasn't that team down in there. North Carolina, you wasn't that team down there. And whoever teams that they felt like they are coming up against, that it doesn't matter if you have a big guy, you're not physical enough to play against the big guys.
Kenny, what's your thoughts on how DJ Burns performing?
Well, I had mentioned in the chat, I call him Zach Randolph 2.0 because he's light on his feet. You can slide a phone book under his feet when he jumps. He's not playing above the rim, but he's fundamentally sound and he's skilled, and that's what carries the day. And then he's showing us that you don't have to be no high riser or rim, bringing down the house with the rim to be able to be effective. And so I think the other thing that I agree with in terms of with NC State, you can see that they're hungry. You can see that they got that fire, that they got that passion, that they got a chip on their shoulder, and they got something to prove. And ever since this ACC tournament, they've just been on a roll, and they've just been rolling. And the other thing I'll agree with Dev on is that Filipowski, you could see that physicality was affecting him. He started getting frustrated. He started complaining to the referees. So they knew that was part of their game plan. You could tell that the part of their game plan was that they were going to take it to Duke and they were going to punch them in the mouth and see if they was going to respond. And to their credit, that's what they did, and they were successful.
I'm with you. 29 points on 19 shots. He can go both shoulders when he's in the post, which is amazing. He has the mid-range touch. We talked about the post game in college and how you see him and you see Zach Edey dominated. I'm a fan of the post, so it kind of sucks that you don't see that as much in the NBA, or it's not glorified as much, because you see it at times, but it's not okay. You're getting 10 straight post up plays as we see in college. It could be effective. So, I would love for the game to be kind of 50-50, but I think we're too far deep in this 3-point line where it's you got like a guy going 5 for 11, Jeremy McCain. You probably gonna see more of that. He's gonna go top 10 pick rather than a guy that scores 29 points on 19 shots. That's just the college game for you. But it's gonna be a fun matchup this weekend. Him against Edie, who's gonna dominate the post more. I'm excited to see it.
Honestly, I think Edie gonna get into foul trouble.
I do too.
I really think he's going because he's not gonna be able to.
He's going
like Coach said, he's light on his feet. He's quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And if that heavy 7'4" guy ain't gonna be able to slide his feet, or if Purdue don't actually have a defensive scheme that maybe you don't put Edie on Burns, but you haven't played that type of zone down in that area to kind of shield him off. Mm-hmm. I think that's gonna be like the only way you can probably slow him down. But if he get all your big guys in foul trouble, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's gonna be it can happen.
Yeah, that's what they did yesterday to Filipowski. They got him.
They got him rattled, and he was off his game because he was a guy that was supposed to step up big for Duke.
Yeah,
but we saw what happened with them. But let's talk about the women's tournament. Right now, we have Iowa up 69-58. Now, I predicted Iowa to win this game. What was y'all predictions before the game started?
Y'all already know who I was riding with.
Oh, I already know. I know.
No questions. Yeah, Homer. Nah, we were on the same page with that one, though. Remember, Chris, on Thursday when we talked about it, and we're seeing it. And Devin, sorry, but your girl is getting a little emotional out here, and I think it's affecting them. You can see her mentally kind of
it's
checking out.
It's not that, Coach. It's not that. Like we was talking offline, cardio. They are getting beat in transition. That's
what I mean. Like you can see her trotting down the court. So that's what I mean. That could be,
but
but also the off the court stuff too. Yeah. No, not at all. It's an 8-point game.
It's an 8-point game. Iowa loves the 3-point line, so
all you gotta do is shut the threes out. Make them put the ball down. Make them drive. Mm-hmm. I'd rather get beat on the drive than to get beat on threes. Yeah.
And if I'm Iowa, I'm letting them throw the ball down to Angel Reese every time. If that's how you want to beat me, I don't want Flo J. Johnson to get her stuff going.
Yeah.
I don't want Murrow to get going. If you want to beat me by dumping it down the post to Angel Reese, let's play ball like that.
The thing about it is, if you're gonna let me do that, I just need. If I'm Angel Reese, I just need 2 cutters.
Yeah, you're not lying. You're not lying.
I just need 2 cutters.
You need movement.
Yeah. If once that first person flash and go, the second person has to be on that first cutter tail. Because you know what I mean, it kind of got to be congested, but it kind of got to open up at the last minute.
Absolutely. No, I'm with you. I mean, it's definitely a way if that's how they want to go for LSU to succeed. But we're gonna see 9 minutes left. We're gonna keep y'all updated on this game because it's a good game.
It's gonna go down to the wire.
It's definitely gonna go down to the wire.
So LSU is tough, man. They're not going to lay down. They're not going to give up. Because it was teetering though, because I think the league got up to as much as 12 or 13 points. It was teetering, but to LSU's credit, they bounced back. And my only concern with LSU is that they can't really shoot the ball that well.
Nope.
So that's my only concern. So if I'm Iowa, I'm packing it in. I'm making them beat me from out. Yeah, I'm packing the paint and making them beat me from outside, especially Angel Reese, because her shot is a little weird. So I'm gonna make her put it on. I'm giving her a cushion.
I'm gonna let her beat me.
That's it. You can face up and shoot all day long if you want to, but I'm not letting her get it on the deck and get to a strong hand.
Nope. But it's definitely a good game. But speaking of another good game, that was a good shot too. Speaking of another good game, which I think has the potential to be better than this, but a lot of people are sleeping on it. UConn versus USC.
Who's sleeping on that?
Okay, no, not us. Because we know
on that.
We know hoops. Well,
I'm just more invested. I'm just more invested in LSU only because of Angel Reese.
We know hoops, but this is for the people that might not. They just know. You know what I'm saying? We know hoops. We know hoops.
If y'all, I keep raving about her. If y'all have not seen Juju yet,
watch tonight. This is my pick to win the tournament, by the way. I want her to win it all. I said that from the jump.
Oh my!
I said that from as soon as they won their conference championship. I said I'm going with Juju all the way.
Just like how Coach said, DJ Burns is Zach 2.0. Mm-hmm. Juju is Maya Moore 2.0 in my eyes.
See, Dev, we already. I told my grandfather that this weekend. We was talking about Juju, and they was trying to compare. I said, don't compare it to nobody but Maya Moore. It's the only person you need to compare her to.
She got almost the exact same game as Maya.
2024 version of Maya Moore. Simple.
Nah, boy, but Juju, man, she is all around baller. The only thing about that game for me is the only way I can really see SC coming out of this is everybody got to be on. If this can't be just Juju on, everybody on that team has to bring that A game tonight because UConn is going to bring that game. We already know Becca is really most
one definitely.
Of them. She you know what I mean? She's not a player that should be slept on. You know what I mean? She might have missed all last year with the ACL, but she came back with vengeance this year.
To let people know she's one of the best. And on her. She's one of the best.
So that's the game. I might not watch it all, but that game is most definitely is a must watch after this LSU and Iowa.
So what's your predictions real quick before we transition?
I'm gonna take the bite. I'm gonna take the gamble. I'm gonna go ahead and drink the Juju juice.
We're in the same boat. She's the truth, and Paige is the truth too. But like I told you, I want Juju to win the whole thing as a freshman. I do.
Yeah, because it looks like my girl Angel and them might not be able to pull this one. You still got time.
It's a whole quarter left.
I'm still optimistic about this, and if I can't have Angel in the finals, I most definitely want to see Juju get busy in the finals. But she would have to go through South Carolina though. If she wants that shot.
Did it last year. Caitlin did it last year, so it's not. It's not.
I'm not saying it's not doable, but Dawn Staley got them girls hungry too.
Man.
Yeah, you're not lying.
They is hungry.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? The same way how UConn to sit here demolishing guys on the men's side. Dawn Staley got South Carolina and these girls. They was like on the last time I had talked about them. They was like on their last. They was like their regular season days of winning was like 740 something days straight of winning since the last time they lost a regular season game, man. So they hungry and they a different breed in my eyes, man. And I'm not saying that they a step up, but I feel like they on a different level than the rest of these colleges teams. Like, no disrespect to LSU, Iowa, USC, but it seems like South Carolina is on a different mission, man. Like team wise.
Yeah. I think they have the best overall team. I think that's that. I mean, obviously, but as far as not one star person carrying the whole thing, we're going to talk about team. I think they got the best overall team.
Well, you know, that freshman kind of I can never get her name right, but she signed to what was that, Steph Curry for the NIL deal.
Yeah, the Under Armour brand.
I can't think of her name, but she really stepped up this year. You know what I mean? She was SEC freshman of the year. And if I'm not mistaken, she was SEC Player of the Week a couple of times also this year too. So they got a little bit of star power, but far as team to as a whole team package, I think South Carolina has it, as far as the females.
So real quick before we play my favorite thing all the time, Kenny already know, but who do y'all have winning the whole tournament for the men's and women's before we transition and talk about some NBA?
I'm gonna go with the sniper. I'm gonna go with the shooter, man. She just got a different look in the eyes in terms of Caitlin Clark in Iowa. And it's looked like they weathered the storm here, and I think they're gonna finish this off and get LSU out of there. And I just think that they have a rhythm to their offense and the way that they're spacing and shooting the floor, and just how fundamentally sound they are. And they've been on the stage before, so it's not gonna be anything new. So yeah, I'm going with Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes.
And for the men, you going UConn?
Yes. Oh yeah, no question. Best team in the country.
Dev?
For the females, like I said, it was no secret. Y'all already knew who I was riding with. It looks like that prediction is about to be coming to an end. But I was riding with LSU. I was hoping that Angel was able to get that back-to-back champ, but I also knew that that's a tough hill to climb. Especially as everybody was trying to paint her as the villain and everything in that nature. So it looks like my LSU prediction is coming to an end. And for the men, I already told you UConn. I felt like UConn is the better team throughout the whole tournament, even throughout their regular season. So I'm taking UConn and LSU. I took LSU.
I was UConn, USC. Illinois is my second pick, and I saw what they did to them. So now I don't think anybody could do nothing with UConn. Honestly, like Illinois to me was the second best team in the nation, and they got demolished. So with that being said, UConn, yeah, you know what's going on over there. And for the women's, I'm going USC. But Caitlin Clark, a lot of people say she's Steph Curry. Go back and look at Trae Young in college. That's who she reminds me of. Because Trae Young was getting 10 points and 10 assists.
Yeah, that's a great call. And he was dominant too.
Yeah, he was really
that's
dominant.
why, and she's made some great passes tonight to her team that's getting them easy shots. So I agree with you.
All right. Now, before we go to the NBA, Kenny, let the people know where they can get some amazing treats.
Actually, we're going to switch it up today. We're not going to make y'all hungry.
Finally,
that's
what I'm talking about.
I'm looking forward to that.
I ain't even had dinner yet.
That's why I'm gonna switch it up so I don't make y'all hungry. All right, we'll be right back on the other side of this break. So you listen, people, this can be your spot. I don't want to monopolize this spot. We want to open this up to everybody. So if you got a brand that you're looking to promote, you can check out YouTube channel. We have couple thousand followers, a couple thousand subscribers. So you get your brand in front of a lot of people. So take advantage of this opportunity. You could DM any one of us or ASAP Network, and we love to get your spot in there. But yeah, creatives, if you're having problems with your creative content or if you're feeling stuck, that's what me and the team do. We help you bring your creative ideas to life. So holla at us, KANM Collective on IG and Twitter.
Absolutely. Now to talk about the NBA, didn't make this the first topic on purpose, but I saw the video of Joel Embiid practicing with the team. A lot of reports saying that he's coming back. So Kenny, let me ask you this. Do you think he should come back for the Sixers playoff push? Currently, we're in the play-in seed, if I'm not mistaken. We're in the eighth spot. So regardless if we win, we're going against Milwaukee or Boston. So do you think Embiid should try to make this comeback or just sit out, make sure you're about 200%, for the next season, even though he might play in the Olympics? So what would you do, honestly, if you're Embiid, if you had to give, him some advice on coming back this year?
Hey, man, I'm not passing up no opportunities to compete. The kids I coach know that we compete every day in practice. I'm like a competition junkie. So, like, I'm not passing up no opportunity to compete. And then you don't know, because we saw last year, we saw the Lakers make a run to the conference finals from the play-in.
Yeah.
So a healthy Embiid is a problem for anybody in the league. So he's playing. If I'm the Sixers front office and if I'm their coach, he's playing, because when he's right, he's unstoppable.
You're not lying about that, Dev. What about you? If you Embiid, you coming back or you sent out?
I'm coming back. You know what I mean? I need to help my guy Maxey out. That's the only way that I feel like Maxey game can really evolve if he has his guy. You know what I mean? And I think that's the only way the Sixers can really kind of compete deep into a playoff run. Because I just think that if y'all don't have Embiid, I think it will be very tough.
It's over with.
To get into the play-in. You know what I mean? We'll get into the playoff, get out the play-in.
Well, I think that'd be easy. I mean, Atlanta and Chicago, I think we beat both of them with it without Embiid.
But I don't think that you would have to ramp up a lot of minutes to beat them.
True.
To use Embiid. So I think that if you're going to do that, put him in. Make sure that he's in and maybe critical moments, close to the end of the, close out games to see how he is in the beginning of the game, stuff like that. But if it ain't competitive, don't put him out there. But I think that's the only way that y'all can really get into the playoffs if y'all have Embiid.
Man, when I look at it, I'm conflicted because one, I want us to compete. I want us to dominate. But if we go against Boston, with or without Embiid, we stand no chance. I'm sorry. I don't care how good this team is, which I think they're amazing. If this was a month ago and Embiid was coming back, I honestly think we could still be a top 4 seed in the East. But going against Boston, they've always had our number for years. For like the past 6 years, we've been in the playoffs with Embiid. And I don't know if it's going to change with him coming back. But I'm with y'all. If you got a chance to compete, you compete. And this year, he's been different. I think he's way better than what he was last year. I think this team is better than what it was last year. Even with losing James Harden, I think overall we have a better ball club. So compete, see what you could do. But if we get Milwaukee in the first round, I'm more confident against Milwaukee than Boston. I'll say that. I don't.
Well, why though? Because KP can't guard him at all.
You right, but it's something about Boston and we can't stop them. So as much as KP can't guard him, they still got Al Horford for some reason, somehow finds a way to do something against Embiid. I think this year, like I said, he's on a different tear. But I don't know. Maybe Boston has me that worried against the Sixers, at least. That is an easy dub for them. I don't know. But I mean, we realistically though, we match up well against them. But can we finally beat them is like, maybe they beat us in the playoffs every year, Kenny.
I mean, honestly, I get your point. If you had to pick between the two, I get that you want Milwaukee over.
I mean, matter of fact, nope. I ain't scared of nobody. Okay. Bring them all on. Bring them all on.
Let's go.
If Embiid didn't miss them first couple of games last year, things is different. All right, we forward in the game 6. We win that series. I'm not scared of both. I'm tripping. What am I?
Yeah, you got to stand on that.
You see this glass right here? You see what I drink out of every day? Greatness. Okay, I don't mean to be like Ray, but I miss you, brother. I miss you, brother. All right, but really back in, I'm not scared of nobody. We got the big guy in the middle. Bring them all on a serious note.
There you go.
Let me not be scared. Let me not be scared of Boston, man. KP can't do nothing with that, man.
Man, he can extend out. Embiid could extend out just as well as he can.
Absolutely.
It's just maybe laterally he'll have a little bit of trouble,
especially coming off a knee injury.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be a concern. But then on the other end, like, you could get KP in foul trouble. them first 2-3 possessions, I'm going right to Embiid in the
absolutely.
post
Down
and
low.
making them
Do
double
something.
him. Yeah, so it's not that far. Now to me, the matchup is Tobias Harris versus either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. He's got to at least give you 20 to 25 a night for you to have a chance to win.
That's not even really. That's not the X factor. That X factor is going to be Drew Holiday versus Maxey.
Yeah.
To me, that's a standstill. I think they're gonna.
Well, I mean, Drew Holiday the fifth option right now on the offense. But that means if he's the fifth option, he can solely worry on defense. So that's my concern. If I know who you are as a defender, and we're not looking at you to score 15 to 20, and you only got to play defense, hit an open shot, get some guys involved. But like I said, I like this personally. I like this team better. We got a guy in Buddy Hill who can shoot the ball. We didn't really have that last year. Yeah, Kelly Oubre was a guy that could put the ball in the basket.
Yeah.
So I like this team. I'm not going to go and say now, if Embiid didn't get hurt and he played, the whole season, I would have a different outlook on this team. But right now, him coming back off this injury, I'm not going to jump the gun.
But I think Oubre is a big pickup because
amazing pick. I hope he resigns.
Because if Tobias is struggling, you could bring him in and bring give you some energy and some buckets off the bench. So if
she fouled
out. Yeah, I was going to mention that. I was going to mention Angel Reese is currently fouled out.
That's
to give everybody update.
And it was 84. Easy call. She just ran over.
Yeah, I don't care, man. Great season, Angel Reese, man. 17 points. 20 rebounds,
that's a huge game.
And the Elite 8, man. I don't care. You had a great season.
That's for sure.
I can't wait to see what your decision is going to be. Are you coming back one more year? Are you going to the WNBA? I can't wait to see her decision.
I'm going on record and saying that she's staying because she's not taking a pay cut to go to the WNBA.
Hey, she already said she's set. Doesn't matter what decision she did with her mind.
She could either way.
She got the Reebok. She got that Reebok.
Absolutely.
We gotta remember that. So
that's right.
I'll say this, man. I'll give them their credit. I'll give her credit, 17 to 20. But there's no way LSU was going to win this game when you shoot under 40% from the field.
So I said, man, the shooting. I said that was their Achilles heel.
And as much as I want to hype up her 17 in 20,
and
she's an offensive rebound
monster.
She's an offensive rebound
monster. That girl that was a bad lift, man.
Oh, she was a bad pickup. Well, no. Let me not say this. She wasn't a bad pickup.
She wasn't a good fit.
It wasn't a good fit. I'm with you on that. John, before Brandon Ingram got hurt, John, I was all in on the Pelicans. Ask Kenny. I was all in.
Hold up. What happened?
What you mean?
No, they're not pretenders. I've been trying to tell y'all for the last year and a half.
No,
the Pelicans, they are starting to flap. Their wings are starting to flap. All they had to do was just drop some of that lean. Was drop some of that fat. Which was
Zion just had
about 30 pounds this
year. My man Zion is over here averaging over 20 points this year. My man is he's almost averaging a double-double. So that's taking a lot of pressure off of Brandon Ingram this year. Mm-hmm. But I can't lie, though. I can't lie, John. They are a second-round team. Only because
they're not making it even.
That's their ceiling right now because Brandon Ingram is not consistent enough. Mm-hmm. I feel like that he shows that he's an all-star. He made the all-star team last year, but number one is injuries. There's always been biting the Pelicans, which was Ingram, McCollum.
That's right now. No, that's right now. Brandon Ingram out for the rest of the season. I don't know if he comes back in the playoffs, but I don't think he come back for the rest of the regular season.
That's why I said they are a second round team right there. They're gonna get you out of the first round because their defense is on point. Their role players knows how to elevate just a little bit more, but they a second round team.
If Brandon Ingram was healthy, I would say that they can make a finals run. But I agree with you. The fact that he's compromised.
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you on their wings starting to flat, but I think the wind is too strong and they about to land because they're gonna lose tonight more than likely. Phoenix
What
or
do you play
LA is
tonight?
going to get that 60. They playing the Suns and they down 20. And Booker going to have 60 tonight.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, he had 30 some already at half.
Sheesh.
And so I think
That
Phoenix or
takes-
LA is going to take that 6th spot. I don't think the Mavericks are moving. So now they got to be in the play-in. That's rough for them. That's rough for them. Can they win a play-in game? Absolutely. But now you got to go against
Pelicans.
Oh yeah, the Phoenix or LA, they're going to take that number 6 spot from them. Because if they lose tonight,
Phoenix for sure.
if they lose their night, they only have a 1-game lead against Phoenix. So they better be lucky.
Phoenix for
They
sure.
better
I'm
hope.
not sure about LA. Phoenix for sure. I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't know about LA for sure.
Yeah.
But
I
Phoenix,
did my take on LA. I sent it to y'all, but LA got a shot.
It depends.
If they wake up, yeah. But if you win tonight, if you beat them tonight, that's huge. Because then now you gotta look at the tiebreaker if it gets to that.
Because how sold are you on Phoenix really closing out this end of the stretch?
I'm more sold on Phoenix than Pelicans with no Brandon Ingram. If that answers your question, I'm more sold.
Is Bill
on
playing?
Phoenix. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. See, I haven't really watched the Suns really since before the All-Star break.
Yeah. See, I've been on my league pass heavy. I've been on my league pass heavy, so I've been watching all types of teams.
I ain't even gonna hold you, brother, man. The NBA was so watered down to me this year, yo.
Hey, Gav, I'm with you. I watch more highlights than I do watch full games.
Yeah, it's so watered down because y'all want to know a fun fact that I can't wait to talk about on my 120th thought.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all know that the Orlando Magic is a 5th seed in the Eastern Conference?
Mm-hmm.
Has not played on any national televised station this whole year.
Yeah.
I mean, what were they last? What were they last year? Though?
Are you surprised?
They were.
I will at least thought if you are able to put Phoenix, who's a team that been struggling to get into the play and who's been struggling, and the Lakers, and you can also if you can put the Pelicans in and out the lineup, I seen the Pelicans has been playing on national TV at least 4 times this year. And there's no disrespect to the Pelicans, but they got the same type of team built in Orlando. Small market team. And this team has lived up to the heights of the Dwight Howard team.
Oh no! I mean, I can't. Dwight took them to the final, so unless they
regular season stats wise, and wins and stuff like that.
I see what you're saying, but nobody, unless
Disney own.
Listen to this.
Got part of ESPN, and you couldn't put your own team on.
I'm with you, right?
Disney,
but it's like this. It's like this, right? They cater into the casual fan. The casual fan knows Zion Williamson. They know Kevin Durant. They know star power, and nobody predicted. Listen, if you don't know basketball, you're a regular fan. Nobody knew the Magic were going to be this good. So therefore, I'm not surprised. Are you really surprised they're not?
We all praised Pablo last year. Everybody said that Pablo is the next him.
We didn't consider them top 5.
It's only one. You only got one guy. Where with Phoenix, you got Bill, you got Katie, you got Book,
and none of those. And
besides Paolo, who you
wanting to watch?
But Bill barely played.
I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong.
You know what I mean? Bill barely played the whole season.
We see what you're saying, but at the same time, you got to think about it through the casual fan eyes. When they're not making it for, that's why they brought League Pass, so you can watch Magic go against the Portland Trailblazers and win by 1 point. You can watch that. The Blazers that got nobody, you can watch that.
What
I can watch Booker give me 60 on NBA TV.
But we also since we was talking about how Boston was sitting here beating Philly throughout the season, Orlando was also beating Boston throughout the season.
Orlando,
you know what I mean?
Orlando matches up well with a lot of teams out east. They just have to score the ball. But if they do that, they match up with a lot of teams out east. I will not lie to you about
Man,
that.
nobody don't want to watch Washington, man. Nobody want to
Besides
watch.
Ray.
Them? Ray
I
barely
don't
want to
even
watch
think
them.
Ray want to watch.
Ray don't even want to watch them.
For real, yeah. We ain't never throughout the whole times of the chat. You ain't hear Ray talk about nothing
But
about
Washington.
the Boston Wizards.
Yeah, he not even
He
following
don't
the Wizards
he
right
ain't-
now. He couldn't even tell you that he got two guys playing good right now because he stopped watching.
He
Hey,
probably
listen,
didn't even know
man.
Jordan Poole coming off the bench.
We said
Exactly.
2 years ago. Remember, I said 2 years ago that the Knicks were better than Washington. That we always said that Washington is just a bad franchise,
Go by
and
far.
it's just hasn't changed. So like nobody's watching, unfortunately, and it's sad because Washington's a great city,
Yeah.
and they have a basketball
draft.
history and a culture there. So the fact that there's not a good basketball team there, it's bad business. So I don't know. We have to save that as a topic, man. What is it going to take to fix the Washington Wizards?
I mean, we can kind of
Leadership.
dabble on it. We can kind of dabble on it right now. Leadership, and then I think drafting. The next topic we got coming up, and I'm gonna go to you on this, Kenny. Why is development so slow when you look at these NBA players? We talk about teams that's been at the bottom for a while. You got a team like Detroit. You got a team like Washington. Leadership is a big part of it, but then for some of these players, where's the development at? From year 1 to year 4, I don't see any growth. I see, and it feels like to me when I look, it's only the great players getting better. You got Jason Kidd, you got LeBron, you got Giannis, you got Embiid, you got Jokic. There's so many other players I can name, but then for all these other lottery picks, it just nothing happens. So for me, well, let me just ask you this: what's wrong with development in the NBA, and is there a lack of it?
I don't think it's just in the NBA. I think it's in basketball in general. One of the things I do is in my off season, I train the younger ones.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I got a clip in here. One of the kids that I train, just throw it up here real quick so y'all can see what I'm talking about. I think this is the problem: is that we're not getting the basics, and we're not starting at this age. So, like, check this out. She's 9.
Mm-hmm.
This is like when you have this at the age of 9, then by the time you get to 15 and 20, you get to high school, you already got the basics down, and then you're able to just continue to add to your bag. So I think that we have to start here because we talked about this last week, Chris, and Kobe was alluding to this before his untimely demise,
Mm-hmm.
is that in Europe, they practice and they train more than they play games. And I think right now, is the AAU culture, is too many games. And it's not enough quality. And then kids are developing bad habits. And I see it because this is AAU season. So I'm in the gym watching these, not only my guys, but other guys as well. So I see a lot of bad basketball. And it just is what it is. We got to get back to the basics and get back to the fundamentals. So I think the reason that you're asking that question is because as a country, we've become more of a capitalist society in terms of, and it's infiltrating the AAU and infiltrating the basketball culture. So we got to get back to the fundamentals and get back to playing pickup. That's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't play enough pickup. We play more games. We don't play enough pickup, and we don't play against better competition. But let me stop because I'm about to get on my soapbox.
Well, then let me double down and ask you the next question. How you feel about the NBA Academy? With the G League Ignite shutting down, that was a pathway for kids, but then you see the NIL happening, so people want to go to college. But the big issue, like you said, lack of fundamentals, lack of defense. I look at Overtime Elite and what they're doing. Why doesn't the NBA partner with them so you can teach these guys young? Because I think personally there's more raw talent over here in the U.S. than there is overseas, but they develop their fundamentals early. So they come in, their game's somewhat already polished. If you put these fundamentals on some of these young guys with this raw talent, they'll be ready to come make an impact. like how they were, years ago. Well, now they're coming in and it's taking them 2-3 years to really find their niche instead of maybe taking them 1 or 2 years. So do you think the NBA should explore open? I think personally they should open up a little
Yeah.
academy for some high schoolers to build them like that.
Yeah. I think the overtime elite. I think that's a great suggestion. And shout out to my guy Alvin Young. He was on with us a couple of weeks ago. He's an assistant coach for Jelly Fam.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't checked that one out, check that one out on the channel. It's on my channel as well. But I think that's an actually interesting concept because they already have the league. It's high school guys, high school age.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you just merge it, now the question is overtime elite and the NBA willing to, merge together? Because then you got, legal things and
Mm-hmm.
business entities and all of that good stuff. So I don't know how, logistically and legally that would all work, but I think you're on to something, though, in terms of that being like a development league, because
Mm-hmm.
we do have the G League, but you need something on the high school level because the high school, I don't know if it's going to happen because the NIL now is starting to infiltrate high schools.
Yeah,
it's already in
yeah.
Georgia. It's on its way to Florida. I got the questionnaire during the year, so it's on its way to Florida, and it's about to basically infiltrate the entire country. So I don't know.
Dev, first part of the question: do you think there's an issue with NBA development and teams? And then the second part, the NBA Academy, possibly NBA doing their own thing, kind of like how overseas is.
See, I was trying to send y'all this video of my sons strapped up on defense. And that's where, like Coach had hit it on the nose, is the fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
You need to start having these kids learning the fundamentals. And what I have really pressed on my sons is that when you learn the fundamentals, the highlight stuff gets real easy for you. It gets real easy because it's going to come naturally. It's going to come. It's going to come unsuspectingly where that you didn't even know that you was about to do it. You know what I mean? And the video I want to show y'all was that at first that when my sons was introduced to the 2-3 zone, they was lost. They was only used to only playing man. But eventually, once they learned it and they mastered it, and like I said, I wish I'd have showed y'all this video. It was where that guards was really scared to come across half court. It was because their fundamentally their footwork was sound. You could just see that doesn't matter about what these guys can do offensively as a ball dribbler. They wasn't really getting past my sons, and it was making it real easy for them when it comes to them playing naturally good defense. So that's where I say, like Coach was saying, that the development, it wasn't just the coaches that was only worrying about their development. It got to be also has to be the parents also. Instead of sitting here trying to make your kid a star, worry about making your kid that his fundamental and his development can really achieve more and more. Because in the next couple of years, when the next coach and you're not able to actually be hands-on with your kid like that no more, because now he's deep into training, he's going to these AAUs, that some of these scouts are looking at your kid not only because he's dropping 30, 40 points a game and he's on the winning team, he's also showing that he's able to develop each time he steps onto the next stage. And that's why I keep preaching my sons is, don't worry about the stage that don't worry about the next stage. Master the stage that you're on first. And once you mastered it and you know it like the back of your hand, the next stage is going to come. It's going to be difficult because you're learning something different. But just worried about mastering development. And I think that's where a lot of these kids are getting messed up at in an AAU, like Coach was saying. You're not developing. So you're carrying this poor development ship into colleges, into these other leagues and stuff like that, and you're not looking to develop. You're just looking to get your money, and that's where some of these kids have to get their mind off is stop looking for the money first. If you develop your craft, the money's going to come, and that goes out to Doesn't matter what are you doing in life. If you develop, keep perfecting your craft, you're going to keep getting better and better, and it's going to keep getting easier and easier to you. And it doesn't matter which platform and which way you're trying to take it to, you'll be prepared for whatever half empty or half full type of glass that you're going to get. So I think that's where all this development needs to really start looking into, is like, don't worry about the money scheme. Don't worry about what the future can hold. Yes, the future can be very bright because there's so many different leagues that these kids can get into instead of just going straight to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
You can go ahead and take a trip cross seas and learn international basketball and get wealthy there, honestly, because that's where a lot of they get paid at, you know what I mean? And then they eventually come pro.
And you don't have to. They pay your agent. You don't even have to pay your agent.
Mm-hmm. So I just think that's where a lot of these development problem issues is coming to, is that they're looking to hurry up and put the money into these young athletes' hands, and their eyes glows up. They're not really, just like DeMar DeRozan said this, I think like a couple of months ago, beginning of the season. There's a lot of trash players in the NBA.
If you realize all the top, him,
you know what I mean?
All these top Pat Bev, even though Pat Bev's not a star, but he reckon that like a lot of these dudes is trash. But like
a lot of dudes are just trash.
Their raw talent is so good.
They're not trying to put, but into like what I was saying, they're not trying to develop their craft. Nope. You know what I mean? Just not to pick on this guy, but Klay Thompson. A lot of people was like, how come Klay Thompson hasn't really took that next step, or why he's having this down slump? It's because Klay Thompson never developed anything else other than that jumper. Mm-hmm. If he was able to learn how to put the ball down and able to be more aggressive to the hole, maybe Klay will be able to be more efficient, and then his jumper will be.
He got that money he asked for.
And his jumper will be more efficient, because now they not just crowd you around the 3-pointers. You know what I mean? So
I'm going to slightly disagree with you there, because I think that has more to do with his injuries. I think it's
no.
But even before his injuries, coach,
he was the same player.
He was the type of same player almost.
Plus years in the league.
If you're a shooter, you only need 1 or 2 dribbles to create space. So I'm not because you can only have so many elements of your game. You're going to have a weakness. I don't care who you are. You're going to have a weakness in your game, except for, people like Kyrie and guys like Steph Curry and those guys, like you pretty much in terms of offensively. But I think what happens is that you get these roles, and then coaches kind of box you into a role, and then you don't develop or work on other parts of your game because they only use you in that aspect. That makes sense?
No, that makes sense, and I agree with you. But like, I feel like great players don't allow themselves to be boxed in a role. That's how I look at it. And Klay Thompson, he was going from not just 3-and-D, but a two-way guy. That means you can score, not just by the 3-point line. When I look at Klay Thompson, and I'm not saying you had to dribble like Kyrie, but there's no way. And I'm about to get to them. Don't worry, I'm about to get to them. There's no way you can add some type of ball handler where you're able to catch it at 3-point line. If they're right on you, drive to the basket. And here's my thing. What do y'all do in the all season? What do players really do? I know what the great players do. So I saw LeBron now being one of the best 3-point shooters in the game. Nobody wants to talk about. I see J. Kidd retire as one of the best 3-point shooters of all time. As far as the volume he was taking. I look at Giannis. He came in built like a pencil. Now he's built like a freaking tree. You see what he's doing. I had no idea Embiid was going to be what he was when I look at him in college versus what he is now. So I see the great players not allow themselves to be boxed in a role and become great. You can pull up that list because I got stuff to say about all those guys.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'll be brief. Rudy Gobert, you've been in the league this long. How you have no post-up game? There's no way. I'm looking at DJ Burns being 6'9", not as athletic as you, can go over both shoulders with a hook. Has a counter. All you need is one move and a counter. You have none of that. If I drop it down, I don't. If you have a mismatch against a guard with Gobert, they're not even giving it to him in the post. It's go get in the dunker. Let me drive by. You might get the ball. DeAndre Ayton, I ain't gonna lie. He's talented. He's just lazy. He has all the talent. But Ben Simmons, I did a rain on my Twitter and it blew up on Ben because I really asked myself, and Russell Westbrook for a time too, but it's no disrespect to Russell Westbrook, but it's just, man, how do y'all not add a jumper? Literally, if Ben Simmons added, I'm not going to spend no much time on it, but it's a known fact. If Ben would have added a jumper to where he was at before he this downhill spiral, he would have went from a top 50 to a top 10 player, without a doubt. So I really asked myself, where's the development with these NBA players? Because the great players always develop their game. Michael Jordan game changed. He developed from college to the pros to be what he is. Kobe Bryant developed his game. You know, it feels like all the players that want to be great, they develop. They adapt. And the players that want to be, you know, maybe all-stars, but good players in their era, somewhat, or, you know, known players. These players now, they want to adapt because they get that money so fast. Some of these players don't want to change. I look at Scotty Barnes. That's a young player. Real quick before, you know, we move on. That's a young player that improved his game. From a three-pointer being a liability to I'm taking 7, 8 threes and I'm knocking down 3, 4 of them. So I would love to see development, especially with this team that's always on lottery picks. You know, y'all don't goddamn. Can y'all get some type of development? The Wizards started picking forwards over the past 4 or 5 years, all the same.
Boy, this must have been a topic Chris wanted to talk about all day.
I ain't gonna lie. No, it really has. It's been a topic I wanted to talk about for a while because I'm tired of these players in the league not developing. Like, you know, that's why you might see the transition for guys start drafting older players because these young dudes are not developing to what they're supposed to be. So that's why people for a while saying, "Oh, I hope he should stay 1 year," because it feels like players develop more in college than NBA because they have no choice but to work on their game. When you in the NBA, you got all this free time, you already get paid. So it's like, develop y'all players, man. You know, shout out to I call him the point guard guru, Sam Cassell. Feels like every point guard he's with, they do their thing. John Wall, Chris Paul, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You know, every point guard, Tyrese Maxey. So
man should have been somebody's head coach.
So it's like it's some guys that develop, but damn, it needs to be all these teams because I'm tired of seeing the Wizards and the Pistons always having lottery picks. Seriously.
No, but you know what though? I think part of one of the issues that we haven't addressed is what incentive do you have if you got a fully guaranteed contract?
No, I mentioned that these players get paid so much now. Unless you want to be great, if you don't want to be great, you won't see a huge development. Again, Scotty Barnes, a young player. He's one of the only young players I've seen.
But he's on his rookie contract and he wants to get to a max deal.
But I see the hunger in him.
Oh no, for sure. But my point is that if they're like, for example, DeAndre Jordan, he got that max deal off of Duncan. Have you ever had
Rudy Gobert?
They got it off of Duncan, so they were just like, well, I ain't for what? This is working. This gives me a bag, so there's no incentive for them to, unless, to your point, you're just one of those guys they
just want to get paid. They don't care
or
about
that just has an insatiable desire to be great, to continue to address weaknesses in your offseason, because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what I tell my guys. Is you got to address a weakness in every offseason. You should turn a weakness into a strength. Easily. That's what the offseason is for.
Or work on it and show that you work on it. Honestly, we've never with Ben Simmons. All you had to do was shoot the ball. Literally, you didn't have to work on your defense, your rebounding, your passing, your dribbling. All you had to do was shoot the ball. Russell Westbrook is no knock them, but another guy. When he was in his prime, he had that dribble pull up, and it was nightmare. He went away from that, and his shooting has never been the same. So it's like, and there's a lot of guys I could listen. I hate bringing up the same guys, but it's just the truth. What do you? Because I saw LeBron. Everybody say, "Oh, we're gonna let him shoot." He went 8 for 9 yesterday from the 3-point line. LeBron is going to retire. Well, we're not even gonna talk about all the stats he has, but you look at the 3-point line. Him and J. Kidd have turned themselves into shooters late in their career. LeBron took it to another level. LeBron is shooting 40% from the 3-point line this year.
Yeah, and it's just repetition. It's just
lucky he didn't do this in Miami.
and creating muscle memory with good mechanics. Because you got the technology, you got the
You have
you got the
everything.
shooting guns, you got
Everything.
guys like Lethal Shooter that you got these shooting coaches out here. So there's really no excuse for you. It's just you got to put in
It's
the
just
work.
you don't want to be great. That's
Yeah,
my
no,
that's your point.
I'm willing to put in the work and try to
Yeah,
be
you
great. It is what
because
it is.
they get that. I mean, who are we to judge? I mean, you get $100 million to just stand there and maybe dunk the ball 3 times
I
and just stand and be
mean,
tall. That's why I don't really get mad when Shaq says the things he says about Rudy Gobert because he's saying no lie. All I got to do is dunk the ball 4 times, and get a couple rebounds, run up and down the floor, and I'm getting 200, 300 million. Who wouldn't want to do that? But and then to touch on, the NBA Academy thing, for me personally, I'm all for it. Like I said earlier, Overtime Elite, they produce multiple. They're producing multiple lottery picks. If you're not noticing, the Thompson twins were amazing this year. If you watch them, they have every tool on defense, and you see them not being afraid to work on their jump shot and shoot the ball. So the Thompson twins, if y'all have, I know they on trash teams, but y'all look out for them next year. Dillingham, no, they on sorry teams. I'm Pistons are sorry.
I was gonna say, hold up, Houston still fighting
So
for.
I mean,
Like
no,
you
no,
said,
no,
yeah.
no. Now they're making a run, but all year they were sorry. Let's be honest. Now I'm glad y'all won on a
No,
10
they
game.
made one in the second half though. You got to give.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in their credit. I'm
Give
glad
them
you won
credit.
that 10-game winning streak, but let's be honest, that didn't happen. Y'all was gonna be a sorry team. So let's. And I like Houston, what they're doing. But the more of the story, Overtime Elite is working. I think the NBA needs to look at that, use that. If you want to fix this, defense and fundamental issue, I think with now Overtime Elite, it may be time to work on how y'all can cash in on what y'all are doing, and let's take this league to another level because I think what they're doing is amazing and it's going to continue to get better. And those are just two people in last year's draft. You look at Rob Dillingham, you look at Sarr, who's going to be a top 3 pick this year, 7'2" guy that's very, very versatile. Seeing his highlights. They doing their thing over there, Overtime Elite. I'm not gonna lie. They and what's crazy? Patrick Beverly, chill, John. Pat Beverly was averaging 38 in high school. I don't know what happened, but he was averaging 38 in high school and did his thing in Russia. Come back
But
to
he
Philly.
did it. But I think what happened with Pat Beverly is he realized, after his situation in college where his draft stock went down, he realized the only way that he was going to make it in the league is if he
Defense.
played a role.
Yeah.
So he leaned into that role and became a defender.
And he
That's to his
tries to
credit.
shoot the ball, and he had times in Houston when he was knocking down that 3 ball at a high clip. So well, yeah. Damn, I forgot what I was about to say. It's gonna get y'all too.
Oh, and one.
Oh, the game on?
Yes.
Yeah,
UFC up 14-6.
Oh, no, you're a little ahead of me.
Yeah,
Right
I know
now.
no more LSU. We can talk about that on Thursday.
Hey man, look. You ain't gotta
That
keep
was
rubbing it in.
Oh, I mean, I my thoughts on LSU been the same all year, but I'm not. We can keep it till Thursday because there was a fight that happened Saturday, man. We wanted to talk about it with you. I feel like we all had the same guy winning. You had Rolly versus Cruz, man.
No way I was picking Rolly. I'm not picking. I'm not picking dancing feet.
Let me just read y'all some stats. Sometimes these stats aren't always accurate, but just if they're somewhat accurate, right?
Wobble, shake it.
It was crazy.
My man had the stanky leg.
You saw his eyes too.
Leave, man.
Hold it like a chair.
My man.
He looked like that Martin meme. Remember when Martin got knocked out the ring, had that face looking outside the?
Yeah.
I don't want to fight
no more. It was bad for that.
Man. But honestly, my opinion about that one is, let me tell y'all right now, I've been calling it out for the last couple of weeks. I'm thinking about even doing this short about it. Rolly is the light-skinned AB.
Oh man!
I didn't took
this AB was more skilled than Rolly.
I took it this far. That guy, but because Mayweather had made a good point. If you look at Rolly's background and what he's achieved, and his not a lot of boxing in his background,
yes,
you know what I mean. He achieved a lot. So you got to give him that, but. You know who also achieved a lot in the beginning of his career? Adrian Broner.
You know,
Yeah, but he had a decade. He had a long amateur career though, so that's why I say I can't really compare.
But this
put
guy
them in a
talks
similar
all
category.
this. He talks all this
Oh
smack.
no! In terms of talking, they just
Remember
like,
he was supposed to knock Pitbull out in the first round, but he was almost gone in the first round.
lucky.
Yeah. I
was-
told that this fight, it reminded me of how Crawford and Spence was. Once I saw that first bit, I said, I know what this about to be. I know what this is about to be.
Once I seen Happy Feet, that's who he remind me of. He remind me of Mumbles. Once I seen that dance, once I seen him dance, I said, "Oh man,
yeah, that left leg. Once that left leg got stiff, it was over."
Because at one point I thought the ref was going to stop the fight. Honestly,
No, he was
We all
out
did.
on his feet, like he was holding on for dear life. He was holding on for dear life. But I think Rolly got to stop talking, man. Like you,
keep. That's how you gonna sell your fight.
Your way into getting
you got to sell your fight somehow, though. It's not on skill, so you gotta have him tone in.
But in my opinion, Rolly should not be a pay-per-view match right now.
Well,
I think he's gonna have to earn his way to be in the as a co-main event, number one, or even a main event. Secondly, I think it's time for him to find maybe an add-on trainer. I'm not gonna say his trainer, he should give up on his trainer, but I think he needs another eye, another voice in that corner.
Somebody that knows how to teach defense. That's for sure.
And that's why I said that, because I feels like Rolly only works on offense when it's time for him to be in his training camp.
He relies too much on his power.
Yeah, and if he's not going to be quick with his jabs to back people away, to make people to say his power is coming some way, somehow, it's not going to be good for Rolly, and he's going to keep on taking L's against. And I'm not going to say that Pitbull is top ranked, but I think that fight should have went a little bit different in my opinion. I think that Rolly should have really went toe to toe with Pitbull if he really considered himself a contender. But it kind of, for me, it shows that he's not middle class. Then he might be almost to the bottom of the barrel type guys when it comes to him fighting his opponent. Because now, who do he fight now? You know what I mean? Who can he really fight to say that he's a decent fighter still left? Because now you can't fight a Garcia unless Garcia loses to Haney. That's the only sense that it will only make for him. But even if Garcia loses to Haney, I still don't think that
he could beat Garcia.
He can beat Garcia, or that's even a fight that even worth watching, because I feel like Garcia can dominate Rolly.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't know where a good path for Rolly at now.
What about Cruz? What path you got for Cruz?
It depends on who Cruz fight next. Because what if Cruz take on, let's just say hypothetically, Shakur?
That was my thought.
Do you know what I mean?
That was immediately my thought. What about
so if he take on Shakur, and what if he hypothetically beat Shakur now? It's like, where do Rolly fits in for that rematch now? It doesn't make sense.
Come on, Dev. Why are we thinking of like so much today, man? It's because I was in Maryland this week, and that's what it was. We had the same water.
Yeah, you was parking the hell in the Maryland air, you know what I mean? But that's just how I'm really looking at it, as far as what's left for Rolly, as far as opponents now.
I'm with you. What was your thoughts on this fight, Kenny?
Well, I mean, we covered it. Like, to me, Rolly's just a gatekeeper. He's one of those guys that's gonna just be, when a guy's on his way up, or a guy that they're looking for a tune-up to get ready for a bigger fight. I just think he needs to get more experience, and he's probably gonna have to take a step down in his level of competition, because after you got put to sleep twice on two big stages, that's telling everybody that, you know what I mean? That's telling everybody that you're not ready.
That's telling everybody like to take naps. Hold, the Pelicans is down by 9.
Oh no, they came back. I got it on. I got my league pass on it. They made their comeback. They made they come back in the third.
Nah, I'm watching Juju. She just gave
Oh,
somebody.
I got both on. I got both the games on split screen. But I'll say this: I know stats don't matter. They're a little skewed when it comes to boxing. But you look at these stats from Cruz: 35 jabs thrown, 8 landed, but 319 power punches thrown. I believe it because he was trying to knock him out, and he had that boy wobbling like I say. He was doing all the stinky leg moves. He brought it back, right leg, left leg, double leg, in and out.
Yeah,
it was looking bad for that.
Line dance going on.
But I mean that was a good fight. But we got another fight coming up.
Even the main event fight was decent also.
Boxing's back. I mean,
do y'all think that Earl Spence should go ahead and take on the winner?
Yeah, I think he needs another fight.
Yeah, anybody but Crawford.
You don't need to wait.
Unless they're doing it at 154, I don't want to see.
But even then, I want you. Well, I want him to get a fight at 154 before he fights Crawford. I just want him to get he don't need to fight at the weight class at the 147 no more.
Yeah, I don't want to see him at 147.
Back to 54.
It's not 154. I'm not interested.
I'm not entertaining.
I feel you.
But we got a fight coming up on Netflix. Still trying to figure out how I'm gonna watch this because y'all know I'm Mr. Bootleg. If y'all don't know,
you already know the 5 stick. You already know the 5 stick.
I know what I'm gonna do.
We'll tell you backstage or off air how to.
Oh no, I'm joking. You know, I got my joint set up already. That's just for the people. I'm trying to plug them in to get that fire stick. But we have some new rules. Well, some rules y'all kind of predicted for this fight with Tyson and Paul. 16-ounce gloves, 2-minute rounds, expedition, no winner. How y'all felt about that? Dev, I'll start with you.
What did my man Ice Cube told Kevin Hart and Ride Along? Don't go over there to them lines meowing like a pussycat.
Oh, man.
And that's exactly what Jake Paul is doing. He's coming over here meowing like a pussycat. You know what I mean? It's like you want these heavy ass gloves on. Number one, because
you chin to get checked.
Because you know if you put him in regular ounce gloves, oh my goodness, night. It is over for him.
Mm-hmm.
2, why you want to make it an expedition? Because I thought that you said that you can get in the ring with real fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that Mike Tyson doesn't really have nothing to lose or really nothing to gain from this. But Jake Paul, you have everything to gain from this. Mm-hmm. Because if you wind up winning this fight or even putting Mike Tyson on the ground, just imagine that you are one of the guys to say, I put Tyson on the ground. But no, you want to go ahead and do this tag team WWE. No, once I get my tail whip a little bit more, I tag my brother in, and I get to have headgear on and all this other stuff. Jake Paul is a straight alley cat. That's what he is, man. You know, he wants to beat up on UFC fighters and former basketball players and guys that doesn't really take boxing as their number one thing.
Sport.
So I just think that if you was going to challenge this guy, if you was not so scared, man, that you would do it by yourself. You don't need a tag team partner. You don't need these heavy ass gloves. You don't need this headgear, and you don't need to make an expedition. Because you're going to get it's money going to come floating regardless. Because number one, we all want to see Tyson fight again.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how old he is, we all still want to see that he still got it. So you already know
he still got it. You see the speed and the power.
I saw what he tried to do against Roy Jones. He wanted to not. You saw it. If this wasn't an exhibition,
you could just tell that he was gassed out.
He don't turn it off. He don't have no off switch when he get in that ring. He got bad intentions.
Yeah. So
that's why he smoked that weed to calm him down.
But yeah, that's what I feel about this fight, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch it, but
watch it for
I
that
just
$3.99.
think that Jake Paul is a house cat.
Yeah, every time we come across this subject, y'all, I say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have no respect for him as a boxer. He's a novelty. He's the N1 mixtape tour of boxing. What he's doing is just basically doing the minimal amount of risk for the maximum amount of reward.
Mm-hmm.
That's been his whole business model. And credit to him, he's making a lot of money doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But then don't
try to portray.
Right. Don't tell us that you're serious. You want to be taken seriously as a boxer. And then you do this like you Jerry Jones. You out here saying I'm all in and then spending $1. So yeah, come on, man.
I thought you wasn't emotionally involved with the Cowboys.
I know, but he just reminded me. He just reminded me of Jerry with that. He got us with the 52 fake out. So I'm not going for it. I'm not going for the tricks because I'm a boxing purist. I like the science and the sport of boxing. And he's just capitalizing on it, and he has zero intentions of taking it seriously as a sport.
Which is, he 52 figure, like you said. I remember when I remember that whole fight card when what he did in Nate Robinson. Sorry, Nate Robinson. And it's sad. I look at what he posts because he posted his son, and I go in the comments, and it's just Jake Paul this, Jake Paul that. It's crazy that now he's known for that, not all the dunk contests and what he did in the league. But we talk about this fight, and I was looking forward to this fight because, like I said, and I told people, even though he's that old, if you watch that Roy Jones fight, the last time we saw him in the ring, recent, he had the movements there. This was a real fight. I was throwing these punches, and it was going to get bad for Roy. So I don't like the rules. Sadly, I'm going to watch it, but it's not going to be entertaining because the only way to win is knockout. But y'all got 16-ounce gloves. So it's like, what are we doing?
You're pillow fighting.
Come on, man. So it's like, I wanted to give him his credit. I read when he took this fight, I was gonna say, okay. I mean, you talk. This is his second time fighting an old dude. The fight before this, he fought some ex boxer. But it's like now after this, I don't believe you're trying to take boxing serious. Like you can't. You got your big paydays already.
You said he want to what boxing?
Fight Rolly. Fight Rolly. You want to fight somebody? Fight Rolly.
What boxing match? What boxing event have you ever had a tag team partner?
Come on.
like no way. And then you bring in a WWE star. It's not like
this is all a show.
Offered, like
he's Harlem Globetrotters. This is all of
he
that. He
ruined any momentum he had of him trying to be a real fighter went away.
Yeah.
It all literally just went away with this. Not gonna lie to you, it all went away with this.
I'm with you on it.
So, hey man, any last? that's all I can say about this, man. I don't even want to talk about this fight no more. But any last thoughts y'all have before we wrap it up today?
Let's go, Juju.
Let's go, Juju. You ain't lying about that. Let's go, Juju. Shout out to Paige. Paige, I'm a fan, but let's go, Juju.
Yeah, man, Juju. Again, everybody, make sure that you get with us. We got these new segments. We got the fan rant segment. So we're trying to make it more interactive, not just in the comments, but we want to bring you on. Mm-hmm. So let us know either during the show, you could comment and say, I want to get my rant off. Pause.
You're right about that, John. Definitely. My thoughts and prayers to Vontae Davis and his family.
For sure.
That was a tragic situation that happened.
And prayers up for Nate Robinson. I saw a report that he needs a kidney transplant. So prayers up for him.
Oh yeah, he's been battling kidney disease for the last matter of fact, he was battling ever since the Jake Paul fight.
Oh man.
He's been battling for years. That's why you see him go in and out. 1 minute y'all see him on the spotlight and then he disappeared. Mm-hmm. He's been battling kidney disease for a nice little minute now.
Oh man, well definitely my thoughts and prayers out to him and his family.
For sure. So yeah, man, and what's it gonna say? Yo, y'all tap in and keep on. That's what I was gonna say. Listen, I'm trying to catch up to Dev. trying to get my subscribers up. So I need y'all to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Coach_ANYKENY, or my name, Kenneth M. Moore. Kenneth is spelled Kenith. Go subscribe. We got a lot of good content and more content coming. So show me some love.
Absolutely. Well, fellas, it's been an amazing time. Hopefully Pelicans can make this comeback. That was a nice move by Zion.
Oh, you got any parlays? You ain't gave us some parlays.
It was terrible games today. I post something like SportsW_Chris.
UConn is on fire.
You know what they've been in the past.
Ooh, UConn is on fire.
It's only a 5-point lead. Only a 5-point lead.
It's still close, but
it's not like how when LSU was down, we knew that was over. It's not like that. You know?
Oh no, it's not. There's nowhere near over. No way. It's way too early.
But yeah, man, can't wait for Thursday. Y'all see me taking shots at LSU. I'm gonna stop, but I might get my thoughts on them on Thursday. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it the day they lose.
Let me go ahead and leave off. I'm gonna make sure I am not available Thursday.
Give my thoughts on them.
You gonna say try to take shots on my girl?
Oh no, it's all positive. That's gonna be on Thursday. All positive. All positive.
We shall see.
All right, but it's a wrap again. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Peace out.
Any keys, tempo, they time, let's go.
We bring that real talk when it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league. All things NFL, we don't miss a thing. Getting with the coverage, we loving it all day. Picking up the news, tell us wherever the ball lay. With the NFL, NBA, they box so. Sports news in the hands of a man with fair takes. Tell them, coach, statistics and realness that's being spoke. Either hit it for the win or they hitting the goal posts. Either way, we woke up to the news of the day. Any kid he could call it, he like to talk it out with Ray. Fast breaks down the lane, they better move out the way, or they pulling from perimeter. Curry, bury the trade, yeah, they got it. Woo! Duval with the hottest, Chris and Dev like the master, and mix it up like it's Logic being modest. They been looking for that real, trying to get it feel. Sports podcast, they run it back on the real. That's a steal, yeah. They never sick, but they ill. Real sports talk going, deliver, signed and sealed. We bring that real talk when it comes to sports, covering the news, giving you the truth. Nothing but that real on hoops in the league. All things NFL, we don't miss a thing.